Hi guys. Today we are going to be reacting to Bella Poarch. Yeah, I know that Bella Poarch is a Filipino American social media personality and a singer with about 73 million followers on TikTok, and she's known for her lip sync videos, and it's mostly about gaming. Yeah. Yes, and today we are going to be reacting to an interview which she did on H3 podcast highlights, and she spoke about how her stepfather maltreated her and her brother when they were little, and even went up to the extent of them going to the farm to cut grass. Not only like cutting grass, like cutting grass with their hands, their bare hands, which I found like so bad and terrible. And also, she also spoke about where in their home they don't have time to watch TV, they don't have a voice, they are afraid to speak up. So please join us as we watch this show. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Baby, music control.
So, what was it like for you? I mean, I want to ask you about like kind of your upbringing.
Mhm.
You grew up in the Philippines,
Yeah.
and then at what? So, first of all, what was growing up in the Philippines like for you?
It was very different because I grew up in the farm
Mm-hmm.
and I took care of like farm animals, goats, sheep, cows. We had plenty and chickens. I also grew up with like a lot of dogs and cats.
Oh, really?
Wow.
There's like over 20.
So, was that what your parents did for work? Because they're like farmers.
No, I think my stepdad just loved animals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he bought like a huge land and decided to build a house in the middle of that land and decided to just start
Wow.
getting farm
what?
animals.
How long did you live in the Philippines before you left?
I left when I was like 14, going on
Oh,
my
wow.
15th
Okay.
birthday. Yeah, so I was still in my teenage years.
So you lived with your stepdad, you said,
Mhm.
and your mom.
Yeah. So I was adopted when I was 3.
Mm.
Before I was adopted, I was actually living with my grandma, and it was like in the slums. Like we were very poor.
Mm.
So yeah.
So you grew up kind of in a poor, especially poor place
Yeah.
in the Philippines with your grandma.
Mhm.
Did you ever know your biological parents?
No. And
Mm.
I feel like I'm scared to know and I don't want to know because I feel like meeting them would be just really awkward.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Do you?
I always wonder about that. Some people, I guess, choose to like go and look for their biological parents, but yeah, it seems like I don't know if I would want to do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure the emotion is so complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't empathize, but I'm sure that. Do you think about them ever, or is that something that's kind of you don't even think about on a day-to-day basis? Like,
Yeah, I don't really think about it. Yeah, because I was really young. I don't even remember if I
Mhm.
saw them or
mm.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, do you remember like your grandma? Do you talk to your grandma still back
Yeah.
in the Philippines?
She actually passed away
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
last year. So, but yeah, I used to talk to her.
Mm.
It's really sweet.
So you live with your grandma, then you were adopted.
Mhm.
You live with this family on the farm, and you lived there till you were 13, and so
14.
or 14.
Yeah.
Tell me about your. I'm just curious. You worked on a farm. Like, what was your
Yeah.
daily schedule?
It was very hard actually because I have to wake up at 4 a.m. in the
Dude.
morning.
Ooh.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
I do. Oh. My
Actually,
God.
4 a.m. would be late. Sometimes I have to wake up at 3 if I want to get to school in time because in the Philippines, school starts at like 6:30.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah, cleaning up the cat house because we had a cat house,
Mhm.
and I'd be sweeping goat poop in the goat pen. And
Just a lot of cleaning up shit.
yeah, and I have to clean up real good because if I don't, then my stepdad would get mad at me and he'd be like,
Okay, now, um, first off, for her to like be adopted, like when she was 3 years old, she didn't know her parents. have the mindset of who our parents was,
Yeah.
and going through like our grandma before poor background first off, they were really poor, and like coming into like now you are now being adopted by a stepfather,
Yeah.
you get, and the parent, and funny enough, you still wake up very early.
Like 3 a.m.
Yeah, like 3 or 4
a.m.
in order for them to get early to school, and you have to do a lot of chores, farm, like just go dog poop, everything. Like that is not just right. Even when we were young, like we don't have a lot of pets, although,
Yeah. No, even though like 3 a.m. is actually it's very early.
yeah,
4
very
a.m.
early.
to start, and you still have to go to
Working.
school. I don't even think in Africa, even those people that hawk or go and fetch water before going to school, they wake up that early. At least at most maybe 6,
Yeah, actually, they mostly 6
or
o'clock.
5.
And the fact that even if she did not like perform a duty, like maybe pack up the poop, maybe just one duty, stepfather is going to be angry with her.
Mhm.
So she's almost scared
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on and see.
Like, oh, you're not eating breakfast if you don't get this done.
Wow.
So yeah.
That sounds like I think bordering on abusive.
That is really terrible. Like you, if you not do your housework, you're not going to eat breakfast. Okay, actually, that part really happens though. Sometimes, like if you don't get ready on time, or maybe if you don't do your house chore, but yeah, but this one is like too much. It's
Yeah,
actually a
but
lot.
like what she's saying, but I don't feel it should be. I feel like all this normally, all these white people, oh let's not say Africans, they use like, oh, if you do this, I will give you sweet or this that.
Okay.
Not that the child will have to be punished.
For it. Yeah.
Yes, so I'm
true.
not expecting that she should be punished for
For
not doing
not doing it right.
it. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't actually realize that until I got to the States
Hmm.
that I was going through that. To me, it was normal, and yeah, it was.
So you would wake
hard.
up at 3 a.m.,
Mhm.
clean a bunch of shit, and then like, how would your stepdad decide if you did a good job or not?
He usually just checks the yard, and
You just see if there's
if he
shit.
sees like a poop in the ground,
You don't
I'm
eat
like,
breakfast.
yeah. Sometimes I don't eat breakfast. Sometimes he just like slap me or I don't know.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And your stepmom, was she like protective of you, or was she also?
She was. She wasn't really like abusive, but she was. I felt like she could have, said something about it.
Mm.
Yeah, but she was very silent about it.
Mm.
Jeez.
And like my nickname was like stupid bitch growing up. Yeah, that was my
What?
nickname.
At
And
home?
it's hard because in the Philippines, like whatever happens in your neighbor's like house, you have to mind your own business. Like it's none of your business.
Mm.
So it's hard when I tell people like what's going on in the house, and nobody seems to give a shit.
So
in
you
school.
tried asking for
Wow.
help from people.
Yeah, in
but the-
school, and then I realized like nobody gives a shit. Like I went to school one time with a swollen hand on my right hand, and it was like bleeding, and I tried to like stop the bleeding before I got to school, but it was really bad. And my teacher was asking me why am I so like slow at writing that day because
Like,
and I
hello.
told her, yeah, my hands are swollen and I can't write with my right hand, so I had to write with my left hand. And she was just like, oh, okay, just hurry the fuck up. And I'm like, okay, like nobody
Wow.
gives a shit.
No questions asked.
Wow.
Wow.
You see this thing, like, okay, she's having a rough time at home, and she's saying, okay, they can't actually, like, the neighbors or no other
Yeah,
person
they
can
can't
come
put
and
their
get her.
nose
In
in
Africa,
it.
you are
All the
all,
whole neighborhood will come out fast.
you are upon, yeah, people's business are your business.
That your business, like in Africa. Hey,
And
no way.
nobody who cares.
Like if you haven't the father of it, but if something's going on in this house, like people come out in Africa, but like for them, like Filipino, like nobody even care about what's going on around if you haven't abusing this one. Well, I'm not saying that people should like sticking their nose into other people's business, but
But like
once in a
reconcile
while,
when
yes,
when you see someone
there was
that
a
is
time to like show yourself
yeah
like to help, you know.
yeah
And the fact that um the way the father treats her and the mother too,
mm-hmm.
the stepmom couldn't even do anything about it. Well, it also shows that the women are also like
No,
giving.
you know, she is between like her stepfather and her stepmother.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know, maybe she don't want to cross some boundaries.
Yeah.
Maybe I feel maybe the men have some power and
Okay.
maybe she don't want to like because of her. I don't know, I don't really know how this is, but I don't feel there's
Like
some
offend
extent
the
that the mother can go
father.
to
Mm-hmm.
help. But I feel even though the mother too
There was
should have been
limits.
able to like help.
Yeah, but I feel maybe she puts like there was a limit like to where she wants to like
Yeah,
help and do something.
yeah.
But it's really terrible what they did to her, slapping her, doing just because of like those choices. You should know that as early as that,
Mhm.
you know, you are still going to school. You should like be considerate. So it's not good.
Oh yeah,
So the culture
Wow.
there is very much mind your business.
yeah,
Don't get involved in other people's stuff.
yeah.
Whoa. So,
Yeah.
did you have like siblings on the growing up there?
Yeah.
Did
My
they were they also getting the same treatment?
no, my two sisters, they're treated way differently.
You have two
And
sisters.
yeah, older sisters. I'm the youngest, and I also have an older brother, which he's here right now. You guys met him.
Was he or well, we won't involve him. Your two older sisters were like not treated the same way?
Yeah, they had like a special treatment. They didn't really had to clean poop like that. All they did was really like maybe clean up inside the house, but they never actually cleaned outside that much.
Why is that? Why do you think they targeted you?
Um,
Does that fuck with your head?
I don't know. I always thought maybe because me and my brother were like the younger siblings, so we were
Your
doing
brother
like the
got the
dirty work too, you know.
your brother got the treatment too.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's why we're like super close.
It's like Cinderella, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how my brother was.
And you're literally like Cinderella.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
So it was like that the whole time growing up in the Philippines. Did you resent your siblings who were like treated well?
I always thought it wasn't fair, but I mean, I couldn't really do anything about it. They were also like bullying me, and
Bro,
Mm.
what the hell?
yeah,
Golly.
they always got
That
like
is
the
rough.
nice things, and I would get like the handover, like, here's my old bag, or like, yeah.
But wait, so what I'm trying to like understand is it that the stepfather and her stepmother, yeah, is it that the first two children are the biological children,
No, they were all adopted.
all adopted?
Yes, just that those like two of her sisters, those other ones, they're the senior. Yeah, so she's the younger one, and she also have a younger brother also. So
Are
I
you
think,
sure?
yeah. I don't think
Because I don't get if you guys are all adopted, why is it that
the one they were
one
treated
treated differently and the other one treated this?
Mhm.
And also, like, if you know you are not going to treat her right,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
then don't adopt her.
I actually feel that it's supposed to be the elder ones that's supposed to be treated like supposed to go to the farm, do all this work,
Yeah.
and like the younger ones supposed to like be at home. You don't actually allow them to like. It's actually the elder ones. People in our house like
Mhm.
the elder ones, us that do everything. The other younger ones get
Yes.
pampered. You know,
Yeah.
they don't actually like for her to be the one. For the elder ones to be the one that they
Favor.
cherish,
Yeah.
and they even allow them to also bully her, the younger one.
Them, even the senior ones, their sense are not right.
Like
They are not
It's-
right
because you are all adopted.
it's not even
They're not
that.
supposed to be
If-
treating them
if-
the other one like this.
If they are not going to treat her right, then why adopt her?
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, why
That's
adopt
just-
her? If you want a slave, yeah, you want a slave, then you
You
employ
make
a
it known.
slave.
Yeah, actually.
You employ a slave that's only a child that you adopt and you say you are
You
going
said
to
you want to
take care of. to a slave.
I'm like, thank you, Lord, you know, because like, I don't know what these people go through in the hands of like adopted like parents, you know. Although,
Foster parents.
yeah, although I also know that there are some parents like your own biological
That
parents,
treat you
they also
that.
treat you like this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not right. It's not actually right. When you know that okay, this is not your child, you adopted her to take care of her. You
Mm-hmm.
can't treat her this bad. You
Mhm.
have to show them more love. So, well, let's hear what goes on
And
next.
that's also why I got bullied in school because I would go to school with like holes in my shoes and like
Oh my
People make
God.
fun of you
yeah.
because you're getting treated like shit at home.
Yeah.
What a
And,
world.
one time I got so embarrassed because my stepdad decided that I shouldn't my brother and I shouldn't be showering before we go to school. We should shower at night. So cleaning up like poop
Oh,
Oh
and shit
yeah.
like that. Of course I'm gonna like smell, but I asked him like, can we shower in the morning instead? And he's like, no, you don't
Oh
have
my
time for that.
God.
Yeah, do your work, eat breakfast, go to school.
what's wrong with
So
him? You ever think about that? Like, what is wrong with him? It sounds like he's a
um,
deeply disturbed person.
he recently said that he was diagnosed with PTSD because he was in the army
Okay.
for like 20 years, and that was his excuse. But I felt like I don't know. I felt like I mean I have PTSD and I don't go around and hurt people, you know, or take advantage of like people. So
Is there some part of you now that you've become successful where you're like, fuck these people, bro?
Okay, this is too much. It's too much because
But why is it like it's only her and her younger siblings? Why
yes,
the PTSD or whatever
no
not
extend
extend
to
to
the
the
other
extra two?
extra siblings, you know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't
Mhm.
make sense. Like that is not an excuse at all. It's not an excuse. And for the fact that okay, they have to do chores,
Mhm.
like not even little chores, like those ones in the house is simple, something like sweeping.
Mhm.
Actually that is normal, it's normal. But the fact that you have to pack dog poop, you have to clean nest, all those kind of things like that, you know, is that one is a lot like above. And the funniest thing that you are not going to allow them to shower
Mhm.
also to take that bath. That is really terrible. It's terrible.
Bro, like they treated me like shit. Now I bet they fucking wish that they were good to me. There's got to be like
yeah.
a little taste of like fuck them.
Yeah, so they've been like reaching out to me and like, oh, we should
Yeah.
hang soon or meet. And it's funny because they think that when I go and meet them, they think I'll change my mind and be like, oh yeah, like
All good.
yeah,
Nice
all
to
good.
see you.
Yeah, it's very hard for them to accept what happened in the past. Like they can't accept it.
You think in their minds they are like, oh, wasn't that bad?
Yeah,
Mm.
and the way they apologize to me is like, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Oh,
Mm.
the worst.
The worst
And
one.
it was that made me feel so angry, and I'm like, why would you say something like that? Like,
They are meant to be
yeah,
like
I'm
she should be
sorry
angry.
you felt that way. How do you expect me to feel?
Like no, they have issues. They have issues.
No, I wish the parents
Yeah,
went
me
through
too.
what she actually went through.
And I think they don't have a child of their own, so they don't know that responsibility on how, like, when you treat your child this way, you know, how it's going to feel.
Or do you
how it's going
think
to
they were treated like that, so that's why they passed the anger to?
Who cares? That's even the more reason like you are supposed to like not allow other people to pass through what you have passed through, even if they were being treated that way
Yeah,
before.
actually.
Yeah, you have to like show love to people so that they won't feel that bad side because you know that okay, it was not good for you, so you also want to pass it to others. Then that is absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. So
Why were they I'm just confused. Like they adopted you. It's almost like they adopted you just to like have a little service. Did you ever feel like that? It's
Exactly.
like, we got this person to
I
work
just
the
want to
farm
say-
and
it
do the bare
didn't.
minimum.
Yeah, it actually the abuse didn't start when they adopted me. Like it was good for like up until I was 6.
Oh.
Yeah, and when I was 7, that's when it started. When like we got all the animals in the farm, basically. But before that, my life was normal. Like I was still like given like a good treatment. Like we would go to the mall and spend time like a family. But I don't know, everything started changing once we started getting like farm animals, once we started planting trees. I don't know, but
Do you
that
ever
was
think about why?
Okay. This
Hey, you want to comment?
this is sad, though, but well, it's what it is, right? So thank God, like if I say my parents change, like for a second, they don't take us out, all this kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
not going to be nice to have just that treatment for like maybe when you were a baby or doing birthday or buying you clothes. Like they just after one just cross like 7 years or 10 years.
Yeah,
Or
so
they don't
they
buy out
have
any
they have
clothes
an
again.
age that they will start to treat them different.
Yeah, like so but
But even at that,
thank God things turn out like well for her right now, so it's okay.
and but if I was a younger self, I would have advised her that she should have just killed all the farm animals because her problem started when she's
Yes, when they came. She's right.
they are just
It's
poison
true
them.
though.
Do you know
Like,
what they call sniper? They said it's like, just put it. They died. We don't know how.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
just kill the stress and everything, and
Yeah.
it just look like
It's
maybe
not
they were
wickedness.
polluted or maybe
Because
they were sick.
yeah,
They
it's
first
not
sick,
wickedness.
so nobody will know.
But it has happened. But
Yeah.
for anyone
She wasn't
going through
wicked
that,
like that.
just kill the animal.
She wasn't wicked.
Or
like
is
that.
it? Do you think like they cherish animals like like Americans like their pets?
Yes.
Do you think they will arrest someone in jail because of that?
I think they will.
I don't give a damn.
I actually
I
think
don't care.
Americans give a damn joy. You don't. You're an African. You don't. But Americans they do.
But
Filipinos,
anyway-
white people they do.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, hope you
watching.
enjoyed watching this video.
Alright, please don't forget to
Like, share, subscribe, and comment down
and please don't
below.
forget to subscribe again. Very, very important. Subscription.
Bye.
Bye.